week, we're calling an audible. That workout that was on the menu for this week's menu was actually last Wednesday's workout. So this Wednesday is not in as many rounds as possible in 20 minutes. We are doing a left-right circuit today. And the way that works is there's 4 exercises. You're going to do all 4 with the weight in one hand, and then work your way back up those 4 exercises with the weight in the other hand, right? So the first one is Kettlebell Clean or one hand swing, up to you. The clean, that weight's down, you're going to tap to the floor, or if tapping to the floor doesn't work. So if you're not, when you deadlift, if the weight doesn't go to the floor when you deadlift, it won't go to the floor when you clean, right? So wherever you start it might be here, it might be here, it might be tapping all the way to the floor. But on a clean, you're just pulling that weight all the way up to your shoulder here. So we just sort of park it on your shoulder. If you're using a dumbbell, that weight can just come up and stay off of your side, off your shoulder. Okay, so you're going to do 8 of everything. So the math is really easy here. 8 cleans. So we tap the floor, tap the floor, tap the floor, maybe tapping the floor, maybe not, maybe just going low and pulling up here. Okay, so it's up to you there. Once you get up here, on that 8th one, we're going to do 8 shoulder presses. Okay, so just pressing the weight up 8 times. Next one, you're going to do a forward lunge. So you'll leave the weight there, and we step forward with your opposite leg. Okay, so you hold on one side, step forward with your left. I'll remind you as we go through. And for the last one, just going to drop that weight down, and we do an SLDL. All right, so then we're doing 8 of everything. Remember, once you do that last SLDL, probably easiest just to switch sides. All right, we do the SLDL here. We do the forward lunges here. We do the presses, and then finish up with the kettlebell clean. So we've got 3 minutes to do that, and then a minute to rest in between. We're going to go 5 rounds. Okay. So let's take 20 more seconds to finish up your roll. Morning, Amy. Morning, Andres. Morning, Carol. And then we're going to get stretching, start off on the ground. And good. All right, this morning, so let's give one leg a hug. You're going to try to touch the back of your other knee to the ground. Try to relax your head. All right, so we're just bringing that thigh in as close as you can to your chest, and also trying to touch your straight leg to the ground. Try to touch the back of your entire straight leg to the ground. And good, that same leg that you have up to your chest right now, cross that ankle over your other knee, and we'll bring it in. So we're just reaching back and grabbing the leg that was straight with that knee crossed over, or sorry, with your ankle, the other ankle crossed over your knee. Should be getting a stretch in the outside of your hip. As you're holding the back of your leg, you can sort of push with your elbow, you can sort of push your knee away from you to get more of a stretch on that hip. And good, let's switch sides. So we start with the hug and try to straighten that leg, touch the back of that leg to the ground. And cross that ankle over your knee. Bringing that knee in, grabbing the back of your straight leg, bringing it in towards you. And good. All right, let's go ahead and sit up. We're just going to straighten your legs out in front of you, pulling those toes back toward your chin. So we'll get a real basic hamstring stretch here. If you can sit tall, let's use your fingertips and press forward a little bit into the stretch. What we don't want is the big rounding over, right? So we don't want to slouch and slump and reach for your toes. You want to get as long as you can from your butt bones up to your head. And from there, we'll hinge over at the hips, which means your chest is going to stay out. And we won't be rounding over from the top down. If sitting up tall is the challenge, then stick with that. And good. Let's roll over. We're going to go to all fours. All right, so we're going to reach with opposites here. It's a bird dog, keeping your spine stable, so we don't want to be dropping your belly button as you reach your leg out. We're going to reach with opposites. Then we come back to the middle and we alternate. The goal here is not to get your leg parallel to the ground. The goal is to reach your leg out without dipping your low back, right? So we want to keep your spine fixed and move your hip joint rather than your low back. Basically, you can do that by keeping your belly strong. That arm, as you reach out in front, you're going to go thumb up towards the sky. And good. All right, let's go push-up position. We're going to walk your hands in towards your feet for a stationary inchworm. So we walk in, tap your toes or your shins, whichever one you can get to, and then we walk right back up. So we're going to do 5 of those. And on that last one, go ahead and stand up. And good. From here, let's glue your feet to the floor. Just working side to side, warming up, stretching, and stretching at the same time. As you start to feel that warm, let's start getting lower and lower into these. And last bit of warm up. Let's do the same thing, just alternating reverse lunges. We don't need full depth right now. We're just going to work until we get a little bit of warm. And good. Okay, so all we need today is one weight. The limiting factor will probably be the 8 shoulder presses. Okay. So something that you can press for 8 if you have options at your house. A kettlebell will work best, but a dumbbell will work in a pinch. Let's get ready to go in about 15 seconds. Grab your last swig of coffee. Okay. So remember, the first one is that clean, that kettlebell clean. The other thing we can do is a one-hand swing. So if the clean doesn't work for you, right, we can just hold that weight and swing and swing. So it's basically almost the same movement. You're just not pulling up, right? So you can do a little half swing and clean. That works too. Okay, so we're doing 8 of everything. Starting off with a clean. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and off we go. We got 3 minutes to get all the way through right and left. Once you get up there on that 8th one, we're pressing up over your head for 8. After that 8th press, you're coming down, you're still on your shoulder. We're going to step forward with your opposite leg. So if you're holding the weight on your right, you'll step forward with your left for 8. And then that same side leg goes back to the SLDL. FYI, we're at about 1 minute, 45 seconds left. Switching sides for the other SLDL, 1 minute 30 left. So if you just switch sides, you're at a good pace. We will have 1 minute to rest after the circuit, or after this round. After that last SLDL, the weight comes up to your shoulder. If you're using a dumbbell, guys, you can also hold it down by your side. There's really no good way to hold a dumbbell up by your shoulder. 1 minute left. Press after the lunge. So we've worked our way down, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we work up on the other side, 4, 3, 2, 1. "25 seconds left. "10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. And we get 1 minute to rest. I'll move the clock into the frame here so you guys know I'm not lying. If you guys got any questions or need any modifications for anything, shout it out here so we can try to make some changes on the fly if needed. Obviously, the challenge here has a lot to do with the weight that you're using. So if you have the option to make it, if you need more of a challenge and you have the option to do that, you can go ahead and use a different weight. All right, getting started with round 2 out of 5. In 3, 2, 1. Here we go. I'm going to start with a clean on my left side this time. So I'll always alternate which hand to start with. Shoulder presses after the clean. Forward lunge, stepping forward with the opposite side that the weight is on. And SLDL, standing on the opposite side that the weight is on. Minute and a half, so we're halfway there. One minute left, guys. Thirty seconds. Wrapping up with the clean. Ten seconds left. 5 seconds. And rest. Okay, we got a minute to rest. Once we get back into it, we're going to start off with the hand that you just finished with. You know, the other alternative, and this would only be if your shoulder works okay with this, is if you're using a dumbbell, is to turn it into a dumbbell snatch where you're pulling from here, but you're pulling up over your head, right? Like I said, there's no good way to park it on your shoulder or by your shoulder. So if that's not working for you, you can think about pulling that weight up over your head. If you're not comfortable with it, then it's maybe not a good ad lib, but all right, starting in 2, 1, here we go, round 3. Starting off with that clean. Shoulder presses next. Forward lunge, stepping forward with the opposite side the weight is on. One minute down. Dropping that weight down for an SLDL. Minute and a half down, we're halfway. On your SLDL, make sure you're keeping your shoulders back and strong in your back. "30 seconds left. Should be working into the clean by now. "15. 7 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and done. Whole minute to rest. We'll get back at it for round 4 with the hand that you just finished with. All right, guys, 2 rounds to go. Starting in 10 seconds. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Starting off with a clean. Here we go. Shoulder press is next. Forward lunge. Touching your knee to the ground if you can. If that's not in the cards, go as low as you can with it. Dropping that weight down for an SLDL. Got 2 minutes left, guys. Switching sides, the other SLDL, minute 30 left. Making sure we're keeping pressure on around that outside edge of your foot. Big toe should be engaged, pushed into the ground. Bring that weight up for a forward lunge. Working up to shoulder press, 45 seconds left. And finish up with a clean, 25 seconds left. Ten seconds. 3, 2, 1, and done. 1 minute rest. We'll get into round 5, fifth and final round. If anybody needs any modifications at this point, if something's just not working, let me know. Otherwise, we're going to get started with the hand you just finished with. Last round here, 10 seconds. Starting off with that clean. 3, 2, 1, and here we go. Forward lunges after the press. Two minutes left. Balance is a thing for the SLDL. Try a little extra knee bend. Minute and a half left. I should have switched by now to stay on pace. Last minute, guys. Thirty seconds left. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and that's a wrap. All right, guys. Nice job. That's a good one. We haven't done one of those in a while. All right, that's a wrap for this morning. Remember, if you haven't jumped in on the March Madness trademark Advantage Madness challenge, make sure you jump in. It's going to be a ton of fun. I think we got maybe 5 spots left. Okay, so enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Great to see you.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Brian. See ya.
Keep working hard.